Hello everybody, into politics here, and welcome to another video. Where Miles Keir Starmer is on his travels again. This time he's in the Middle East. He's visiting Saudi Arabia. He's only there to get a suntan. That's all he's gone there for. That's all he wants is a suntan. Does he really think that his presence in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries, is going to make any difference to trying to keep the Suez Canal and Straits of Hormuz open? Does he really think he's got influence that he can do that? Well, he can't. Starmer is hated. He's hated here in the UK, and he's hated on all over the world. Other world leaders hate him, and I'm just laughing at him, especially Donald Trump. We all know how Donald Trump hates him. I mean, what does Starmer think he's going to achieve by being in the Middle East? What does he think he's going to achieve? He's not an important world leader. He thinks he is. He thinks that Britain is going to be respected. We're not. We're no longer respected like we used to be. We're just laughed at. To other countries, Britain is just a third world country. That's all we are. Third world country. We're not taken seriously anymore. We don't carry any political weight anymore like we used to. So what's Starmer doing there? I do not know. But like I've said, he's only there to get a suntan. He thinks that if we can escape Britain for a few days and go abroad, he can forget all about his problems at home. Well, I'm afraid to say when he comes back, the problems will still be here. He thinks he can just forget his problems for a while. We all know that he won't. I mean, there's a latest opinion poll puts Starmer poll rating even lower. It's getting lower. His poll ratings are just getting lower and lower. Soon they'll be through the floor. But like I've said, what do you think he's going to achieve by going to the Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia and trying to use his influence in trying to open the Straits of Hormuz? Have you noticed that now there's a 2 week ceasefire between America and Iran? He's flown out there. He wouldn't go before because he couldn't be guaranteed his safety. It's typical of him, isn't it, Starmer? He's just there to show his face and wants to be seen with other Middle Eastern leaders who are not even remotely interested in him. They don't like him. I mean, after all, they thought that we would have at least done something to protect the other Middle Eastern countries where Iran was firing their missiles at them. But of course, the Diverer, Keir Starmer, the Diverer, didn't want to get involved. His excuse was, it's not our war, so why should we get involved? I think he's hoping to be invited to discuss how Iran should be run when the Mad Mullahs have finally been defeated. He's hoping that he could have a seat at the table with all the other world leaders like Donald Trump. Well, I'm afraid he's sadly mistaken. He will not get any invite at, at the table when the fighting is eventually over and the Mad Mullers have finally seen the light and they've decided that they got no more use in fighting on anymore. But of course, Starmer, well, he's got to stick his nose in, hasn't he? He's got to stick his nose in where it's not wanted. Like I've said, he's only gone out there to get a suntan. That's all he wants. He wants to get a suntan. And he thinks that it's important that he's somehow this great world statesman and he's important. And we know he's not. He's an embarrassment. Wherever he goes in the world, he just embarrasses us. Utter embarrassment. I mean, HMS Dragon was supposed to be sent to Cyprus, protect Cyprus, and it's now back in dock again. I mean, it's in dock again. It's broke down again. You know what? We ought to get a tug and tow HMS Dragon to Cyprus to protect Cyprus. That'll be the only way of getting HMS Dragon to fully work. But it's back in dock again. Something to do with the water, I think. I mean, we're just a laughing stock. A complete and utter laughing stock. Thanks to Keir Starmer, whose days are numbered now as Prime Minister. I mean, like I've said, other world leaders are just laughing at him. They just think he's a joke. And you know what Donald Trump thinks of him. You know what Donald Trump thinks of Starmer. He's now called. He says that Britain doesn't need another Neville Chamberlain. I mean, I'm afraid what Starmer has gone and ruined our relationship with the United States. He's gone and ruined it by not getting involved. I mean, when America attacked Iran, all they asked for was to use our bases to launch attacks on Iran. That's all they was asking. Of course, Dharma, being the lawyer in his obsession with international law, said no, they couldn't use it. And then not a few days later, he backtracked in there and said they could. No wonder his Dharma's a laughing stock. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.